Nations. It says I'm live. Jim is going to make sure that I'm actually transmitting an audio. We're going to do this 30 seconds of awkwardness at the beginning of every video we always have while we're transmitting out to the world. And I'll just keep talking so as to verify that the audio is in fact working, assuming that Jim isn't just lost in his own little mind of doing something else entirely.
I'm waiting. It says live, but I don't see it yet. So
That's fair. The odds and ads and oh no, you don't see ads. And we have 0 viewers. Surprise, surprise. Did you
hear you?
You hear me? Yay! Does hear anybody else?
They don't hear me.
You don't hear you.
Oh, now I hear me.
Okay, so all is well.
Okay,
all right,
we're good.
Hooray! Okay, and hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome to another episode of Mike's campaign of Sugoi Sauce, episode 48. I'm so close to 50. As always, because I remember to do introductions now. Assuming I can actually bring it out. There we go. We have our gnome tinkerer, Babbage, Jim, with his... Oh my. I'm slightly scared now, but I'm the DM, I shouldn't be scared. Yes. We have, with a dramatic looking up at the corner of his space, you, the Furblog druid, Jeff. I was just gonna let that sit in silence.
I went Star Wars with it.
Very good. Scrolling up, I like it. Canadin, our Storm Blessed. Or Canadin, Storm Blessed.
Whoa, Trunks! Trunks!
Super Saiyan Trunks, no less. Very nice.
Yeah.
How long have you had
with
that?
With the jacket, the best version of Super Saiyan Trunks.
Future Super Saiyan Trunks.
That is the best version of Trunks. That is the best version of Trunks. As opposed to Teen Gohan, who was 11, but I digress.
Loosely teen.
But they do ages different over in Asia, right? Don't you start at 1 anyway?
That actually used to be. We're going off on horrible tangents. That used to be how they did things in South Korea, and they changed that a couple years ago. Actually, yeah, you used to.
Yeah,
well, it used to be that you would, if you were born on December 30th, you were 1, and on January 1st you were 2. Despite the fact that you were 3 days old. Like, that's just how they did ages over there. Yeah.
Because you're born at 1 and your birthday changed with the calendar year.
Yeah. So they've since switched that back to the way that we do things.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then finally Blessed. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say, interestingly enough, Blizzard had to change in one of their patches. They had to change the age of like the restricted age in Korea for Diablo because of that rule changing. So like all these 19-year-old Koreans, all these 19-year-old Koreans can now play Diablo, and they weren't able to before. Anyway,
3 minutes of tangents. Finally, Blessed Bellarmine, human knowledge cleric. Okay. Now that we've gone through our intro/fun facts section of the video, when we last met, we were last enjoying the adventures of our adventuring adventurers. We had basically just done an entire long fight scene in the Rushland Woods with a whole lot of nasty looking Lysolot type things. The fight ended with a very dramatic, I believe it was a guiding bolt that was juiced up to like level 5 or something, that we had a lot of Kamehameha types, or Kamehameha, type sound effects. But it was late.
Yeah,
so
I've lost my entire soundboard, by the way.
That's sad.
A voice mod updated and every sound I had is gone.
Aww. That is sad. But we literally ended at the end of combat because I needed to go to bed last time. So, you're out of combat. Yeah, everything's dead. You can all relax. Babbage and Paladin and who are still up on the cliffs there. As a friendly reminder, those things are like 10 feet high. But he makes his way down, slowly but surely.
I back up against the cliff and I kind of slide down. I'm like,
yeah, Canada.
I need a break.
Canada and pretty much everybody but you is everybody. All the friendlies are bloodied except for you.
I'm beyond bloody.
Yeah.
I got my booty handed to me.
There we go.
Any landing you can walk away from. That's what I always say.
Does anybody need healing?
Yeah.
That is a... Yeah, Canadian looks rough. Babbage does not
Which
look okay.
scientists are calling the world's greatest understatement.
Anybody need healing?
The monk says yes.
You know what
I
could have
don't-
turned the tide for that battle in our favor would be 3 friends.
There's a little mass healing word.
Everybody
Ooh,
gets 8.
wonderful.
I
That
will
feels
take
good.
it.
For the purposes of this, I'll assume you was close enough to receive that healing, even though he's on the bottom of the cliffside there.
You can't really rely on the maps out of combat, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is there a place to get a long rest somewhere around here?
I bet the inside of that dragon skeleton pit's safe.
The DM is unsure if he's serious.
Said no one ever.
Babbage just noticed that there are spider webs in some of these trees, and he backs away from the pit and he starts breathing heavy.
I mean, you would have noted. I mean, that's fair. I mean, you were so busy dealing with the threats around you. I mean, being distracted by the skeleton in the mud and then the threats around you. That you noticed that there are in fact.
Is everybody within 30 feet?
For argument's sake, we can say yes. I'm sure you communicated this among your peers and cohorts.
Yeah, have another 7.
Everybody's been healed 15.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The
I
deacon
still got a ways
spends
to go.
15 total or another 7?
15 total.
Okay.
Oh man, you
7
rolled
extra. Okay.
wait, 2d8. No, you rolled 2d8. You rolled a 3, unfortunately.
I'll keep
Yeah.
going as long as we can find a place to rest.
I mean, you guys are in. I mean, to just reset the stage for everybody. These woods that you walked through for about an hour before you got to this point are very dense. It's all very most of the trees look like they're completely devoid of any kind of life at all. Just old, decrepit. You've been stepping on a lot of like broken branches as you've walked through, and it's also there's just like a sort of a hanging mist that even. I mean, the branches of these trees, despite the fact they're bed, are dense enough so that there isn't too much sunlight getting through, and even if there was, there does seem to be just this almost dense cloud cover above, so that you really can't see more than, I don't know, 20, 30 feet above you.
Take another 23.
But I don't know how
Can
many.
we sit
how
here
much-
for 30 minutes?
Yeah, so sort of short resting, you're very short resting while the deacon spends spell slots healing everybody. And somehow Babbage has more hit points than his max. It's a helpful little indicator on my screen, actually,
That's a total of 23 and 15.
which would be 38. Yeah, 38 total.
Yep.
I was at 8, so
Brought me back to normal.
Is there a Jeff? Is there a reason you're pinging everywhere? Oh, I can't hear you, Jeff.
I have greater than half hit points, but not by much.
Nothing? Nope. See mouth movement, but no green little thing around you. Technical difficulties.
Now we came in right from the western side, right? So we should probably keep
That is
going
correct.
towards the
Yes. You did
east
start
and
off
north,
to the
maybe?
west.
What do you think? East and north?
Let's wait for Jeff to get back.
Log back into the machine.
Our frames! The stream's gonna look weird.
Oh, yeah. There's not much I can do about that, is there?
No, we just gotta wait till he gets back and Discord fixes. I wish there was a better way to capture video so that didn't happen. Someone should write a Discord plugin that allows you to link it to a user and automatically locate the box. Me, I can't do that.
Does that not already exist?
I don't think so. But it should, because I'm sure it's a common enough issue.
Hmm. Indeed.
A
Please
couple
help.
of things with X's on them. Like here. And here.
Oh, the baddies? Yeah, that's just my. I mean, I could just delete them all. I mean, that's just more my way of showing that like there are still bodies strewn about the
Is the
battlefield.
spiritual weapon still out?
But it and this rather intimidating looking wall of fire is in fact still burning, infuriating.
I figured we were a little chilly.
There we go. We can hear Jeff clearly.
Well, the
Hooray.
spiritual weapon wouldn't still be out, right? After 30 minutes?
Oh, you're right. That's
No.
true. That would be
Um,
gone. I'm sure the wall would have disappeared at this point.
Mike, I was pinging this because I want to see what the mage is all about, and specifically what kind of creatures these are.
Ah, fair. Well, I
They're
mean,
like lots.
they look. I mean, you've come across these things before, but they seem to be. I mean, the simplest way I think I could describe them is they seem like they're werewolves, but they're not. Werewolves implies lycanthropy and some sort of transformation, whereas these things are just naturally like this human wolf hybrid creature. But let me...
More so, if it's a magic user, what's poking into that? Like,
Do you have any magic stuff for Jeff to steal? Borrow?
I mean, outside of its,
well,
it seems to have just
you has never seen wolfish humanoids casting spells like this, so it's
from what you witnessed from the way that they were casting spells before, it does seem to have a sort of druidic nature to it, although far less. The sense you get that it's far less respectful and far more.
So innate rather than learned magic.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay. Hard to say, but you get this. You get the sense that it could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right, and it has a staff. What else does it have on it?
Outside of some, no, they have a. It looks like a simple quarterstaff, with more just like some. You would imagine it's some sort of ancestral carvings or some sort of markings that you don't understand the significance of. Beyond
I'll
that,
take those.
Okay. I mean, you take one Lysolot shaman staff.
The carvings are on the staff.
Yes. The carvings are on the staff itself. Beyond that, no, it doesn't seem to have any other belongings on it.
So I will then replace its staff with mine. Because I have a quarterstaff.
Oh, sure. No, it'll act, yeah. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it acts as a quarterstaff.
Well,
now...
these folks were clearly laying in wait for us, which means that we do not have the element of surprise. While we were able to get the drop on them specifically thanks to our eagle eye in the sky, we definitely need to be cautious as we move forward.
Who side-eyes you?
I don't understand why that's happening.
You, or who wishes to convey that? Who is? What's the common word? An owl.
Oh, I didn't realize he was taking me literally because he's a bird.
You see like a flutter of wings and some downy feathers float down towards you, hoping to make you sneeze.
What are you, Archimedes from Disney's Sword in the Stone? Don't get so ruffled.
Also, like spectral feathers. Can you be allergic to spectral feathers?
We're about to find out. It's psychosomatic.
Yes.
Attic insane.
Hey,
Well, they wanted to run off this way, so let's.
I'm gonna send
Head in
Who
that
down to get a
direction.
real close look at this thing in the pit that drew us in the first place.
I mean, they're very old bones that seem to be somewhat
Old, okay.
preserved by the mud that it's in, that it's been sitting in, the like dried, caked mud. If you're looking through its eyes, it doesn't seem to. It just seems to be wings and legs and a tail.
Any teeth?
No, the teeth are no longer there.
Wings and legs. Any drumsticks?
There
I'll
are
take
bones.
Buffalo Flats. Buffalo Flats. Thank you.
Those are the best ones.
When I get to this corpse, you see you do this.
Yes, sniped from far away, indeed. All right.
Same thing with this guy. Similar. Has a staff. Not much else.
Correct. The carvings seem to be a little different, but you can't make sense of like why they would be or what their meaning is. So, but yeah, very similar staff. Kaden, are you joining the group? Wandering off?
Any of them have any mithril on
Sorry,
them?
I was talking to Lauren and I lost track of where we stand here.
What's the question?
I was talking to Lauren for a bit and I lost track. She came down. She
Oh,
also compliments your beard,
There's a lot of
Jeff?
beards. Which
Mr.
beard?
Sylvia.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
thank you. Tell her thank you very much.
very good.
She says he has such a perfect beard.
Wow.
Which Sylvia? Nah.
Sylvia Senior.
Oh,
My
Deacon.
Oh,
father.
the second.
Dad's junior.
Ah,
Vu had a
Right.
Clark Gable mustache, which was pretty mint.
that's awesome.
All right. Beard flattering aside, as you wander
There's
further,
always time for that.
Careful.
as you all wander further into the woods, you do finally like stumble across a path as you move to the northeast. And after about a good half an hour of traveling, you find yourself in a winding path at this point.
Hmm.
Oh, you know
Looks
what?
ominous. I will just- Maybe Who should.
Who scout ahead, or I can scout ahead stealthily.
I'm not getting vision on this token, Mike.
Oh. On who or on
Who?
A witch's cottage.
standby?
A hut in the woods.
With a
That's
solid mustache.
clearly a chat GPT generated witch's cottage.
Pretty good.
There we
That's
go.
gonna be annoying. I have to fix that. Okay. So yeah, as you're flying around the woods, or it's who's flying around the woods, but yeah, as you guys come upon, so you are standing there in a fork in a road that does head off to the west. You continue to see the road that moves north and has another split here. But yes,
This
there
is
is
said
this.
cottage.
Yes, that is the said cottage.
Is
that
it
you see
lit
from
like
the-
the photo shows?
There does seem to be light coming out of the window. Yes.
Bellarmine! Get back over here, Bellarmine!
Bellarmine, what are you doing there?
I'm looking in the window.
Okay, so as you look into the window, it looks like it's you look inside, there doesn't seem to be anybody present, but you do see what looks to be so there's some candles that are sitting on a table with 2 bowls of what seem to be warm soup bubbling.
Is one
Not
of them
bubbling,
just
but
right?
like warm soup sitting there with like some table settings. There's a bed off to the right side and what looks to be a cauldron sitting off to the left. with what appears to be the source of the soup, and then maybe a chest on the far side of the room that with some store. Yeah, there's a chest on the far side on the ground. There are no other windows. You notice it's just the one window you were looking through.
So I knock on the door.
The rest of you hear the deacon knock on the door. There is no response.
I try the door.
As you open the door, the moment that the door cracks open, the picture in the window changes to just darkness. And as you open it, as you crack the door further open and like see inside, it's just utterly decrepit on the inside. Like it seems like it's the same like table and 2 chairs, but it's all like covered in dust and cobwebs. And it's as if hasn't been anybody here for years.
So I carefully close the door and see if that image comes back.
The moment the door latches closed, the image appears again. Yes. As it appears,
Like a refrigerator.
you also notice, because of your ridiculously high passive perception, these words scribbled along the bottom of the. Wait, what? There we go. These words scribbled just underneath the window of the door.
Silent shadows whisper low. So I open the door very carefully, try not to make a sound, and I walk in.
I mean, you hear the creaking of floorboards underneath you as you walk in. While you're doing that, okay, we're gonna go in order from top to bottom. Kanadin, what are you doing?
I would be peering in the window.
So the only window is the one that's on the south end.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So like the one that was lit, and then the moment he opens the door, it becomes unlit.
that's. I would be watching in there as he opens and closes the door.
Okay.
So just I guess watching the scene shift. Does it seem like it's a static image close to the window, or does it seem like the actual room is changing? Does that make sense?
It does like if you're staring at it and like you look around a corner, it does like look like you would actually see like around the corner, like as you see the angle. So it is shifting as you move your vision.
Okay.
Is the
My turn was over, or did the casting of light actually work?
Hold on. Everybody's doing something at the same time. I just want to understand what all is happening so that if anything else is revealed, I can share it. So Kanadin's looking through the door. What are you doing?
I was fixing my sound. I am ready with Thorn Whip. Why not?
All right, Babbage, what are you doing? While your friends are all around the building.
Explain the inscription again. It's carved. It's written. What are we seeing?
Carved. It's like it looks like it is carved into the door underneath the window.
Describe the shape of the hut. Is it a bunch? Is it like an octagon?
It is in fact an octagon.
Is the comma carved into this phrase, or is that a type error?
Nope, it's carved in.
All right. I will begin circling the hut, looking for more messages on different walls.
Sorry, I was getting weird feedback.
Starting at this wall, moving counterclockwise.
You're moving counterclockwise. All right, so you're starting at south and then going to southeast, it sounds like.
Correct.
Okay. On the southeast wall, you find that.
Yes!
On the east wall.
Oh, I'm so smart.
The northeast wall. I'm going to stop there.
That's fine.
So Bellarmine, Babbage is circling the building. What are you doing? You're casting
I'm inside
light?
and I casted light.
You have to touch an object. What object are you causing to glow?
The tip of the sword there, of the warhammer.
Got it. Okay, so your warhammer is now glowing. So you illuminate the space It's lit, but it's nothing different than what I described before with regard to like it's still just very decrepit.
I
Whatever
thought
the
you said it was. Thought you said it was dark and looked decrepit. That's why I wanted to see it in the light.
well, it's light now, but it still looks like the light doesn't change the. It's still all like the table looks like it's been in disrepair. The chairs looks like they've fallen apart. The cauldron's just missing from what you remember before. The chest that was there looks like it's collapsed in, as has the bed that was along the east wall. So again, it looks like the same scene you were looking at through the window, but it's all abandoned and left alone for possibly what looks like years, if not decades.
And I examine all the nooks and crannies inside.
As you examine the nooks and crannies inside, you discover on the inside of walls these words scribbled. Basically across. You see these scribbled actually into the wall above where what appeared to be the bed.
I tell the guys, I'm seeing eerie whispers, nature's hot sigh. Now the woods in mournful dread. Follow now the path you seek for any chance to sight the end.
Canadin.
I think at this point I would have been once everybody's in the house, I would have come around, been in the house, looking at these etchings as well.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Sure
looking at now, trying to figure.
All right.
Yeah, you did share them. I see them. That's
Yep.
trying to
What are you doing?
parse them.
Following Babbage because I'm trying to reposition these tiles on the screen so they make sense to me.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. We did that order. All right. So we are at the north wall. North. Did that? Oh, sorry. There we go. Northwest. West. And southwest. You have circled all 8 walls, and Bellarmine has also found something on the inside.
I look
Sounds
up at the ceiling, see if there's anything up top.
Besides what looking like a piece of roof that looks like it's ready to cave in, and just the support bars above, as well as plenty of spiders, webs, and dust, nothing else seems to catch your attention.
And I examine all the floor and the floorboards.
That'll take you some time, but I mean, with your passive perception being as high as it is, it takes you about 5 minutes to like look through as you pick through the chest. Like whatever cloth in there is absolutely like tattered. Like you basically anything you move picks up some dust. Most of the wood seems to be just almost ready to collapse underneath your feet. The chairs, again, are already like falling apart. The bed also looks like it's ready to just collapse underneath any additional
And
waste that it could go on.
I also examine the window from the inside.
The window from the inside looks out onto. Looks out as you would expect a window to. Like you just see outside past into the very dark and dreary wood that you are in.
And so I leave the cabin and stop getting antsy to follow the path.
Okay.
Hey, you. You know what I've noticed, you?
Babbage notices many things.
All of these messages start with an S, an E, an N, or a W. Those are the cardinal directions. North, south, east, and west.
Go on.
I don't know, it's just something I noticed.
Clever.
The message inside has an E and an N, but that doesn't follow the rest of the pattern with follow now and for any chance. But all the capitalized letters are cardinal directions. Southeast, north, northwest, west, south, east, southeast, north. But what order is this in? If you go by the rhyming scheme, I believe we start at the south wall. Silent shadows whisper low, echoes of a life once bright, naked branches claw the sky, nostalgia haunts the ghostly night. That's an A-B-C-B rhyme. Windswept paths where silence reigns, withered leaves beneath my tread, solitude a somber guide, stillness marks the journey ahead. Once again, you got an A-B-C-B rhyming scheme. So, I don't know what to do with this information, but it's certainly a pattern that I've noticed. I'm gonna use my direction sense to see if the walls are, like, kind of or perfectly in alignment with cardinal directions.
They are as you see them on the map, so they are not perfectly aligned. The HUD itself is actually slightly askew. Let's see.
Ritually casting.
Okay, let's remember how this works. The spell doesn't take into account any possible magic. All right, what is the question you are asking?
Is this cottage a red herring?
Which matters more, the rhyme scheme or the capitalized letter of the riddle, of each line of the riddle?
Divination's a hard spell for DMs.
Yeah.
Be creative and accurate very quickly.
Yeah, right. Let's see. As you pull out your star chart, because I imagine that's how you're doing this.
Yes.
And for 10 minutes, you see. So as you're all sort of pondering this, you see the Furblog just sort of, I guess, sitting in meditation. Like, imagine, help me describe.
You see the Furbolg warging with Who overhead,
Okay.
flying in at first what seems like chaotic, nonsensical pattern, but then you realize it's like the creation of the flower of life from a rotating pendulum kind of thing. Like, oh, okay, there is an order to this seemingly chaotic pattern. I don't know if you know what I mean by the flower of life, but
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called the flower of life. I hear Jim Googling.
So you get Who, after you've sort of finished the divination, you see Who fly in the pattern of a constellation in the form of, the closest I can think of is like Gemini, like two twins, essentially, which you can interpret as they seem to be equally important.
Interesting. The stars of the brothers above, born at the same time, in the same place, from the same maiden. Babbage, I think all the letters mean something.
Sorry, did you say all the letters?
Well, the beginning letter of each word and the rhyme scheme at the end. Don't ask me how I know what a rhyme scheme is. It all seems to matter.
So, yes, the capitalized letters relate to cardinal directions, and the rhyme scheme helps us determine the order and where to start. Kind of already knew that. Or at least guessed it.
Hey, Mike, are these linked somewhere accidentally closed south?
I will
Should be in the journal.
Yeah, just
Once
reshoot
they're
it
shown,
south.
once they're shown, you should see them in the journal under plot
Yeah,
items
sure.
under Rushlands.
Ah, there we go. Got him. Thank you.
Got him? Cool. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
South, southeast, east,
west,
northeast,
north, south.
north, northwest,
That's
west,
the
south.
order.
South to southwest, counterclockwise.
South to southwest is clockwise.
You start at south and you end at southwest. That's counterclockwise.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were talking about the transition from south to southwest directly. South to southwest, counterclockwise. Because south is where the door was, so it makes sense that that would be the start. It wasn't just an arbitrary direction choice. Silent shadows whisper low, echoes of a life once bright. Naked branches claw the sky. Nostalgia haunts the ghostly night. Wind-swept paths where silence reigns. Withered leaves beneath my tread. Solitude, a somber guide. Stillness marks the journey ahead. And then inside,
What's that pass?
eerie whispers nature's sigh. Now the woods in mournful dread. Follow now the path you seek for any chance to sight the end. Dread and end don't really rhyme. I don't know if that's a poetic limitation or an intentional
break
in the rhyme.
Do we think
And-
eerie whispers nature's sigh, east, west, north, south?
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense.
But even if you read them in any east, west, north, south order.
But east, west, north, south almost doesn't really get you anywhere.
Right.
East,
I'm trying to read
west,
the
north,
rhymes in that
south.
order, east, west, north, south, but it's not there.
I'm gonna enter the hut.
Okay.
As soon as I open the door, the image looks tattered again, and
Yep.
it's
The
gross
moment
inside.
the moment you unlatch the handle, the image on the window disappears, and you can see through it into what is a very tattered, beat up old inside of a house.
And when I walk into the very tattered, beat up old, the inside wall is which wall?
East.
The inside east wall has that message. Do any of the other inside walls have a message?
No. Bellarmine has been through this thing with a fine-tooth
Yeah.
comb and has found nothing else of significance.
Understood. All right. And what wall is the window on?
South.
The door and the window are in the same place?
It's the windows in the door,
Okay.
and that's the only window.
Yeah. And there's also only one window on the inside versus the outside. There's no change to the structure.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to come back out of the hut. I'm going to close the hut.
Okay.
The window now changes back to making it look nice and inviting.
Correct.
I'm going to look in the window at the east wall, if I can.
Okay.
Is the message still visible?
No.
I'm going to go on the outside to the east wall.
Okay.
And that says... Naked branches claw the sky. Okay. Is there anything on this wall? Any depressible button? Any panels? Like I'm feeling around the wall. The wood
I'm not going to make
paneling.
you roll for something that you cannot find. No, there's a thing there.
Okay.
So Babbage is thinking through. Canadian, what are you doing?
I have all of these. Well, I'm looking around the room. Is what
The inside.
Kanadin's doing,
Okay.
and Zach has all of these laid out in order on his screen.
Okay.
So that pass for silent rain, nostalgia haunts the ghostly night. Naked branches crawl the sky, echoes of a life once bright. Silent shadows whisper low, stillness marks the journey ahead.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Somber guide with their leaves beneath my tread.
What is you doing? I should say.
Following a hunch.
What's your hunch?
Any words starting at the door, any words in the rhyme scheme that give a cardinal direction, the beginning letter, I'm following that like on the tiles on the ground.
Oh, just where you're standing?
Yep.
Okay. While he's doing that, Bellarmine, are you doing anything else in the moment?
Well, I'd walked out and I began to go up the path.
Ah, okay. Which direction are you? You're just continuing on? Which direction are you headed?
I'm going to go to the extreme on the path to the extreme of the map and stop.
Okay. I mean, the path seems to get darker as it winds further off to the north there.
But I've got light casted.
That's true. Yes, you have. That's true. You do have 20 feet of light sort of emanating around you. See, the woods are. Oh, here, I'll actually make your token glow. Come on, roll 20. Let's see. Did that not work?
It didn't. And I'm exploring the paths.
Why did that not? Huh. Oh, it just may not be easy to see, but you are in fact emanating light. I mean, there is some sort of.
I see a glow
ambient
coming off his token.
Yeah. Now that, especially on the token now.
Now,
Okay.
now I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down this path until it ends.
Okay. I mean, you see that the path again seems to wander off into the. I mean, it becomes windy as you get sort of the end of the map, so you can't really see very far down it. You found that was true of the north path as well.
No.
In fact, you notice that's true of all four paths. You can't see
So
them.
I tell the guys, I don't see anything unusual anywhere in this known lighted area here.
I have to believe we're onto something with these cardinal direction idea. I just don't know what.
But there's four paths. One seems to go north, one seems to go southwest, one seems to go west, and one seems to go northeast. Assuming that this map is oriented.
It is.
So I mean, we have it in the proper order. When you lay them out in their direction, and you read it from north clockwise around, that's the proper order. But what does it mean?
Wait, you're reading from north around?
Yeah, watch. Set them all out in where they are. Like on your screen, what I did was I set it up. So
Yeah. But I started with south because that's where the door was, and that
start with north.
that order still works. If we start
So,
north,
start with north, and then right.
Silent rains, wither leaves beneath my tread. Solitude, a somber guide. Stillness marks the journey ahead. Silent shadows whisper low. Echoes of a life once bright. Naked
No.
branches.
Go clockwise. So,
But then
windswept
it doesn't
paths.
rhyme.
It does.
Windswept paths where silence reigns, nostalgia haunts the ghostly night. Naked branches claw the sky, echoes of a life once bright.
Right.
But
Silent
then there's the
shadows
punctuation.
whisper low, stillness marks the journey ahead. Solitude a somber guide, withered leaves beneath my tread.
Now go to center. Eerie whispers nature's sigh, now the woods in mournful dread. Follow now the path you seek for any chance to sight the end. I think that's the correct order. Clockwise from north, then once you hit northwest, going all the way around, go inside.
You moves around the board.
Well, we've recited it in that order and nothing happened, so it's not a read it in that order thing. Follow now the path you seek for any chance to sight the end. If I go to the north of the hut and I try to walk into the wall as if it's just an image, is that possible, or do I bonk my head?
You bonk your head.
Okay.
Anybody that's inside hears a bonk from outside wall, and there's a bit of dust that gets settled and floats around inside the room.
What about if we try both of these directionalities but from the inside? So I step in and I go south counterclockwise. So south to southeast all the way around to southwest. And then reset and try walk to the north side of the room and then go clockwise.
I'm going to cast True Seeing on Babbage.
Oh, I was supposed to bring Lauren a towel. Crap.
Go.
I would like to point out there is a gold cost to that spell.
Which means that you would have to have 25 gold worth of ointment made from all of those things that's listed in the description. So, for the sake, I will say, let's just, for sake of argument, I will argue, I can state that, let's say your three, why can't
Retainers?
I think of the name of it? Yes, the three retainers maybe have brought you a gift of these, so you can cast this one time right now. If you want to use that now, that's allowed.
I just did.
Okay.
Okay.
Spell see things as they truly are. For the duration of the creature's true sight, notice the secret door is hidden by magic and can see into the ethereal plane. Okay. Babbage, you are given there's all of a sudden, like, all of the world seems to have a second layer to it as you can see into the ethereal plane.
Okay.
As you're currently standing inside the hut.
Well,
but
I'm in the hut now?
Well, that's where your token is, right?
Oh,
I
that's
thought that.
When I bonked my head, I was on the outside.
Oh, all right. So let's say
narratively.
Okay. Well, we'll say you're out. Oops. All right. So we'll say you're here for this. But yeah, so you can see into the ethereal plane. I don't know if your character's ever seen into the ethereal plane before. This may.
I have, because of the potion of etherealness.
Ah, yes, you have. All right. So you're. This is something that you're not 100% unaccustomed to. Let me double check what True Sight actually gets you.
I notice secret doors hidden by magic. I can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet.
Magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions, and suspect anything through and perceive the original form of change. Okay. Alright, so alright, so at the moment, while being on the north side of the hut, outside of being able to see the ethereal plane, nothing else seems to be jumping out at you.
Well, now with this newfound sight, I will slowly, clockwise, circle the hut on the outside.
Okay. as you are circling the hut clockwise, nothing else seems to jump out at you. The scribbles are still scribbles. Nothing's innately magical. You don't see any magical doors jumping out at you or that seem to be noticeable. As you come in view of the door, which I'm going to assume for this case is closed, that image that you could see into the house is gone. Like, you can see straight through the window, and you do seem to see what appears to be some sort of magical enhancement done on the window itself.
Makes sense.
But beyond that, you open the door, but you can't. The light's not emanating from it anymore, and you look inside, and again, you can't help but feel a sense of disappointment because nothing's different.
All right, I step into the hut.
Still dusty, cobwebby,
I
unpleasant.
close the door behind me.
Nothing changes.
I ask, can you guys see in from out there?
I look.
With the door closed, you see the same image of what looks to be a very inviting room. You cannot see Babbage in there. It's the same scene you've seen
Can we
before.
hear him?
Yeah, you heard him just fine. When he said, can you guys see me? You heard him say that.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Clearly, there's a magical spell on the window that makes this hut appear inviting when the door's closed. I think that's obvious. Question is this worth our time, or are we just burning all of our time to get to our hostages?
I suggest we just go north.
I just can't put a puzzle down.
But is it a puzzle?
As soon as he says that, I'm going to begin to ritually cast this, at the end of which I will ask the otherworldly entity about the prospects of us abandoning this hut and continuing north.
You get wheel and woe.
Oh, little bit of column A, little bit of column B.
You have to stop asking your deity compound questions. Which part's the bad
I'm
part?
sorry.
Going
Hold on.
north or abandoning the hut?
I misunderstood. Okay. Good. Wheel for good, woe for bad, wheel and woe for both good and bad results. Nothing for results that aren't specifically good or bad. Okay. No, I take it back. I stand by my statement. Woe and wheel.
Well, you said wheel and woe. Now you're saying woe.
Wheel and woe. Yes, the both of them at the same time, simultaneously. Whatever the order is irrelevant.
Abandoning the hut and moving north is both good and bad.
I'm going to add in a little cheese for the sake of shaking things up and cast it again and say, what happens if we abandon this hut?
The DM rolls. What happens if we abandon this hut? You get it. The results are inconclusive. Nothing is the answer you get back.
All right, now I cast detect false positive.
If only.
Avoiding tautology is what don't we know? Is there a bed?
Not a functioning one. It's
didn't-
like collapsed in. It's like there's a bed frame. There's no bed anymore.
Nothing. Not even a skimpy mattress or anything.
No, it's long since deteriorated to the point of non-existence.
I'm gonna lie down in it anyway.
It's smelly and uncomfortable.
So am I.
Matches perfectly. The furblog lies down in a pile of dust and debris and gets it all in his fur.
I mean, let's face it. In our campaign, that's pretty low on the list of undesirable things caught up in my fur. So
I suppose that's fair.
make yourself at home, they said. This is
All right, so Babbage is lying, or sorry, not Babbage. You is lying down in the bed. What are the rest of the three of you doing?
At this point, I'm
Besides
kind of,
pondering really hard.
at this point, Kennedy gets frustrated and says, "All right, I'm moving on. I'm ready to move on."
Are you all right? Where? All right. When you say that, what are you actually doing?
Yep, I move out to here, and
Are you waiting, or are you continuing to walk?
no, wait, right here.
Okay.
I'm so conflicted. I have to know what this is. But the gamer in me is like, well, Mike knows that, so he put it just enticing enough to waste your time. But the gnome in me is like, well, yeah, this is clearly intentional. And I know I'm onto something with these directions, says Babbage.
Babbage says that out loud, and you says, "Well, what's the starting point?"
I don't know. The poem works whether you read it starting in the north or reading it starting in the south.
Well, usually with orienteering, north is the
What if we
cardinal direction.
What if we start in the east and then read the west phrase and then read the north phrase and the south phrase? Let's see this now. What if it says, naked branches claw the sky, nostalgia haunts the ghostly night. And then solitude, a somber guide.
Bellarmine, are you just wandering off into the east?
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just walking around.
You're traveling into the woods, is what I'm hearing.
Naked
I'm
branches
walking around.
claw the sky. Solitude, a somber
There's
guide.
a path. There's a path there.
There is a
Windswept
path that seems to
paths
go off
where
to the
silence
east /
reigns.
northeast.
Silent shadows whisper low. None of that rhymes. That doesn't work at all. What's up, E-Bags? Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to figure out this puzzle. Which may not actually be a puzzle. It might be a red herring, but I can't let it go.
Might have to.
Oh man, when I drop that thing. Oh well, anyway. The DM sits patiently waiting for the group to do
Go on
something.
without me. I'm gonna puzzle this through.
Can you go in there and just grab him by the ear?
Jeff, did you hear that?
I heard something I didn't hear.
I said, you just grab him by the ear and let's go.
Uh,
Referring to Babbage.
Not advisable. Besides, we were talking about taking a long rest.
And my true sight doesn't give me any other information from inside here.
Correct.
Try something.
Does the wall move at all? Can I rotate the room?
Rotated how?
Like is the cottage somehow on like a lazy Susan, and I can spin the whole cottage?
You try to spin. You try to like push. The
Like a
cottage
Wheel of
itself,
Fortune wheel.
It,
Can I
it
spin the
does.
cottage?
It does not move.
Does the door slide or move or roll?
What about the window? Does that move?
The window is affixed into the door, so no, it doesn't move. It's just like built into the frame. And the door is on 2 hinges.
What kind is the window? Circular or square?
Square. I believe that's, hold on, whatever the image is. Square.
Can you pop up that image on? Or well, I guess I can.
There's some frantic typing going on.
We've seen the ceiling, but we haven't been on the roof.
Does the roof spin?
Assuming you've warged at some point, who has not noticed anything on the roof that jumps out at you? And no, the roof does not spin.
Not a tin roof. You know that. It's on a hut. It's not on the house.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the window of the hut.
The image, when the door is closed, disappears. So now you're just, even when the door is closed, you're looking through and it's the same decrepit inside that you know is there.
So it was just a magic spell on the window.
So it would seem.
And everybody hears me.
Yeah. Everybody sees that the image that was in the window when the door was closed is now gone, even with the door closed.
And can I dispel the spell and see if it comes back?
I mean, once you've cast the spell, the magic has been dissipated. It's gone.
You destroyed the magical effect that was on the window, so that's gone now.
But it's not a period of time, right?
No, it's your magical awareness would tell you that it was likely an illusionary spell that was keeping the image there, that was just sustained somehow, and you have now negated it.
Right. So it was a magic spell on the window to make it look interesting inside, with a strange poem that's detained us for a long time. My vote is that we continue north.
But there could be mithril inside.
No,
he knows there isn't. He would have found it by
now. All right, I don't like it, but I'm only 25% of this band, so I will begrudgingly leave the cabin.
There's a fork in the road here.
We just don't have the time to do this. Let's just keep moving. Maybe we can come back later.
So you all going the fork? You're taking right or left?
I think I say right.
I wonder if that poem would tell us which way to go.
You fools!
So you're all going east. Is that you're all in the northeast? Excuse me.
What do we see anything down the path? Does it look different either way, or does it look the same?
They both like sort of become windy very quickly, so you can't see very far down the path.
So what happens when we're off the map?
You're basically just looking through like some really dense trees. I want to understand. Are you just wandering by yourself there, Bellarmine, or is everybody else following him?
Well, I went to the corner of the map on that. And I can yell loud, so if something happens, I can yell to the guys.
Sure. So you just keep going down. Is everybody else?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay, you're not moving any further than that. All right.
Well, I can't move any further than that. I'm off the map.
Well, would you? Yeah, for the purposes of the mechanics of the website, sure. Is Bellarmine walking further down the path? Is what I'm asking.
As far as he can go, he's gonna continue.
Okay.
He wants to see what's on the next page.
Bellarmine continues to walk to the northeast. What is everybody else doing? And we've lost Jeff. My stream is going to be all kinds of wonky.
I vote
And he's back.
east.
Okay.
Any guess as good as the other? Head towards the light or away from the light?
I'm
vote-
casting light.
I vote east. And
Yeah,
if
you
we have
see
another
Bellarmine. You
four-
see Bellarmine's light sort of like peeking out behind the trees as he continues to move.
Oh,
further
that's the light. Oh, I see. Okay, I thought that was
Yeah.
the part of the map.
I saw the
Um,
light. I saw the light.
All right. So so you guys start wandering down that path, and after about 5, let's see if I remember how to do this. I haven't actually. Wait. Oh, there we go. After about 5 minutes. Oh, that's not where you end up. Sorry. After walking about the path for about, we'll say about 10 minutes. Give me 1 second. Oh, you know what? I can just. DM's DMing. Copy that one. You end up here.
I still got light cast. though, right?
Oh my goodness.
It is a puzzle. It's just not the cottage.
Yeah.
Okay. So first we went east. Now we'll go west.
Back the way we came, or like kind of south?
No, so
west?
I assume we entered this time like this. Now we're back at the cottage, and we want to go west.
Oh.
I'm using the inscription on the inside of the which is east, west, north, south.
All right, that would be the inside wall, right? East, west, north, south.
Yeah. And if that fails, we'll open and close the door and reset the puzzle. I assume.
Okay, east, west. Okay, then north.
Now I believe we should go north.
Jim, is that your fan that keeps keying?
Hmm?
If you look at Discord, you can see that your green, like your audio keeps picking up, I think, a fan that's going.
Oh, it's probably my air conditioner. I can change my sensitivity.
So are we all going north?
Yes.
East, west, north. Yep, and then south.
Well, but what's happening when we get to the other side of north? We don't know yet.
I think when we get to the other side of north, then we go south again.
That's going to be my guess.
Worth a try.
You guys went north.
Yep.
I may not have reset that one in time.
By the way, thank you, Jim. Much better.
Oh, yeah, happy to help. Yeah, the north-south is weird because we're literally going back the way we came.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let's try it.
we'll follow all the way to where the cabin is and then head south.
That's a good idea.
And once I recognize the paths again, I'm gonna head. Oh, I'm moving Dad. Sorry, I don't mean to move you, Dad.
It's all right. So I was going to go anyway.
I'm gonna reread the inscriptions, see if there's been any update or change.
No, the window, the image is gone that you had seen before, but no, nothing else seems to be different about the hut itself.
Hopefully that dispel magic didn't just lock us into some sort of
We
infinite loop.
soft lock the puzzle. I will open the door.
It opens.
Does it still look dilapidated inside?
Yep.
I enter, close the door behind me.
Nothing changes.
Dang. Exit, close the door, dejected. Scratch head.
Well, let's go to the west.
Why? Talk to me.
See what happens.
Okay. So you're just gonna randomly go directions in hopes we stumble upon a path with 4 factorial solutions?
Bellarmine is off.
Alright.
Well,
Well, we
that's not
should...
that
Oh!
many solutions.
I am gonna go up over here and see if
What-
Bellarmine
what-
comes running towards me.
Um. I don't know where his token went. I think he literally dragged it off. Dang it. Hold on. Yep, he did. Okay. Okay. Well, I just had to move everybody. He does.
Aha! Well, we've determined that this is, in fact, not multiple instances of the same location, but a weird superliminal non-Euclidean plane of existence.
Somehow ended up on King Kai's planet.
Okay, so let's actually think about these paths. The south path is really kind of a south-west path. The west path goes west, the north path goes north, the east path goes...
For argument's sake, the south pass goes south, the west pass goes west, the north pass goes north,
Okay.
and the east pass goes east.
Alright, so they
Like,
do...
as soon as it gets off the map, it does sort of point in a cardinal direction.
Alright. Alright, well let's go back to the puzzle. Babbage is secretly super thrilled about this because he really didn't want to leave this puzzle.
You have no
and now
choice.
now he can't.
Yeah. So like where I should be confused and dejected, I'm like, yeah.
I have to open all these back up. I closed them all out. I was like, all right, we're just going to keep going. Oh, well.
Lo and behold.
Alright, well let's go with the starting from the north wall, and let's try west. No, wait. If we follow clockwise, then it would be this direction. So it would be west, north, east, south. South, southwest. West. Hang on, did I say that right? North? No, sorry. Northwest. North. I keep reading the wall name instead of the direction in the poem.
Ah.
So, west, north, east, south, west. Babbage asks you if he could send the owl through these paths. While we sit here at the hut,
For sake
observing
of
for changes.
Can I just warg it and control the owl since it's
Yes, absolutely.
okay. Then that is what who does. West, north, north, east, south, 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 west.
So over the span of about 10 minutes and watching this owl just sort of whip in and out of like zip, 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 zip. I mean, this takes about, I mean, he's fast, so we'll say it after about 15 minutes.
Dash action.
He comes out of the east because he went west, and he floats above you.
Now
I would
have
have
him
seen
go.
everything he saw.
You saw him whipping through the woods a lot, and sort of fled it, and then now he's sitting over you guys' head.
Now have him go east, west, north, south, north.
East, west, north, south, north.
Yeah, that.
You zip through the maze of you zip through the maze. We'll just call it a maze at this point. East, south, north, south. Okay. He completes that cycle and he's back overhead.
Dang. Maybe the eerie whispers nature's sigh is tripping me up. Maybe I should only care about the E. So let's try again. I'll open and close the door, assuming that resets the puzzle for no reason other than I believe it. And send the owl on west, north, north, east, south, 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 west, east, north.
Sorry, where?
I wrote it in chat.
West. Both the second one. West, north, north, east, south, south, southwest, east, north.
Yes.
Okay. Another 10 minutes goes by, and the Jeff does not see anything new.
All right, that's going by the starting on north. I think we should still start where the door was,
And
go
where
in
we
that
entered the map
direction,
from.
and
which
go
happened to be the same.
counterclockwise. So that if we go that order, it would be south, east, north, north, west, west, south, south, and then east, north for the inside. So send the owl that door. I'll open, close the door, and send the owl in that.
You
path.
says out loud right before warging, "Sen Weston," and owl.
Send Wesson.
So he goes south, east. You're flying south, east, north. He zips past north again, and then curves to the west, and then comes from east to west across, and then comes from east to go south, southeast, north, and then as Babbage, as he disappears on that final north, you look south expecting to see him, and he does not reappear.
We figured it out.
Babbage.
I was right the first time.
What have you done?
Hold on, and Jeff.
Oh yeah, Jeff can
because he's
see.
warging.
Oh wow, warging is great. We can literally send you through the maze without leaving and splitting the party.
Sees that before an arrow flies to the air and goes pink.
Just like that. No roll, no like owl, crazy perception, crazy movement. Just.
All right, it took
3.0.
1,
We'll be
2,
back
3,
soon.
4, 5. It took 6 arrows, but there, it killed him.
But it's like, is it like I spill into that immediately, and it's just boom?
I mean, you had about
Or-
10. You had about as long as you did when I showed you before things got.
I'm sorry, I was looking at Discord. I didn't know I was popping onto a new screen.
Ow. All right.
Like
10,
who
9,
I
8,
through who?
7.
Go back, go back,
6.
go back.
Okay. All right. Fair. You keep your owl.
What ended up being that solution, Jim?
It was my
And
original
Weston.
thought, which was
Starting at the south?
start where the door was, and go in order that you write counterclockwise.
Send Wesson.
Send Wesson.
All right, so who is back safe and sound?
Yes. From the north.
You cast Thorn Whip. to make a nice sonic boom, little mini sonic boom in the air to get everyone's attention.
Huh.
All right.
What happened?
And listen.
You got through. What did you see?
When is in the? What are you saying?
Who followed the path that you selected, and
Oh,
who disappeared into the next place? And let's just say we should be ready. There are. Do I need to roll something to?
could we say more than "Let's be ready"? Is that possible?
Jeff saw
Well,
what he
I'm
saw.
getting to
So
that. I can guesstimate, but is there something I can roll to say like, oh, there were exactly this many things that I could visibly see?
I'm gonna go off of the information you have and what you remember with the time you were given.
Role play, baby.
There are possibly 24, maybe two fortnights worth of enemies awaiting for us if we follow this path.
2 10 days worth of. that's an odd way to
28
count, but sure.
28 days worth of what?
I said anywhere from 24 to 2 fortnights. That's 24 to 28.
Okay. You can just say 24 to 28, you.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm gonna.
All right.
All right.
The DM is doing a bio break while you're all discussing this. I should be able to hear you still.
Well, I think
the deacon's suggestion, the Bellarmine, is correct. We need to rest here.
we
I'm
should
good.
probably hunker down in this cottage and take ourselves a little short rest at least. I don't know if we have time for a long rest before the ransom is.
What time is it right now?
I don't know. DM is left. But I think
Quick,
we can at least
hijack
get
the
a short
campaign.
rest. We can at least get a short rest in and get. We won't get spell slots back. Man, I wish Dad hadn't burned all those healing spells.
Yeah, I will definitely take a short rest. They could.
I was out of audio range. You guys are deciding to take a short rest. Is that what I heard?
We don't know if
What
we have
time
enough
of day
time
is
for a
it?
long rest before the ransom is due, but if there is, that would be ideal.
You guys left immediately, and there were 36 hours roughly when you left. And it has not been 24. I don't think it's been probably. Oh gosh, it's probably only been like. You guys flew in, so you were going real fast to get in. I mean, it's probably only been like. With all of the hooing and flying around, let's say it's probably only been like 5 or 6 hours since you guys left town.
Question. The guys that you saw, did it look like they were waiting for you, or did they just happen to notice you?
There stood a large circle in the ground, and they were standing along the arc of the circle, with a break in the circle to the south, as who approached to the north, and immediately turned around. So
they're laying in ambush?
I mean, I feel like I'd need to roll an insight check for that. Right, DM?
So as you flew in, they did all seem to mostly be facing toward the north. And you briefly saw what appeared to be some sort of throne.
Throne, Throne.
Yes. And whose eyesight's probably good enough? I mean, you could see some like larger creature there.
So that sounds less. That sounds less like they are laying in wait for an ambush, and more like they're gathered for something else.
Yes.
Which is good, because we might be able to get the drop on them, and that also means that if we have an extended delay, they're not going to wonder, like, hey, where are they? They were so close. Mm-hmm. So, definitely killing the messenger before they escape last combat will be to our benefit, and probably be what allows us to take a long rest in this cottage.
Yes.
So, Babbage votes take a snooze. A snooze.
I'm in the bed.
You're on the floor between the floorboards, or between
I'm in the bed.
Bed frames. What you're doing is where you are.
When I
You is
close
my
my
bear.
eyes, I'm in a comfortable bed.
You is my bearskin rug.
As long
Wait,
as
so
everybody stays
you is
within 30 feet of
so
me,
you
we're
is
good.
acting as a mattress for you, and you are laying on top of him. Is that what I understand?
100%.
I'll
And I
Snoopy
cast
in his
this,
doghouse.
so it's comfortable. It's comfortable for a minute while everyone falls asleep.
That's a big fire in that little cottage.
Yeah. So, all right, as you cast it,
You're gonna burn this damn place down.
smoke
Rustlins are gone.
immediately begins to fill the space because there's no ventilation, there's no there's just the door. Like smoke from this campfire immediately begins to fill the space and like start
Right, but
pouring
as soon as
down.
at the first hint of asphyxiation, well, no, before that, at the first hint of poor ventilation,
The
Carbon monoxide
bonfire
poisoning?
ignites flammable
Great
objects
concentration.
in its area that aren't being worn or carried.
So much for that shelter.
Yeah, so I'll say what was left of the table is now ash, and and what was left of the chairs is burnt. And then when you realize, like, oh, this maybe, like, as things immediately start catching fire and smoke immediately starts, like, filling the circle, you undo it. Actually, wait, you can't just undo it. It's a
Great
cantrip. It
concentration.
just, oh, it's concentration. I'm sorry. All right, so it lasts about 3 seconds, and then you undo it.
Yes.
Not before stuff lit and very quickly burned and collapsed and deteriorated. So the smoke still lingers, like, because you did burn things besides just the bonfire itself.
Here's what I don't understand: a cottage this dilapidated and abandoned would have a porous roof and walls.
I mean, it does
Yeah,
have
it would also-
holes.
It would also literally be a tinderbox that you put a bonfire inside of. You're lucky we're alive.
It was just there for a moment. It was quick, bonfire on your TV.
You're right. The roof
The
is porous,
essence
but not porous
thereof.
enough for a bonfire's worth of smoke.
Bonfire means something. It doesn't say campfire. It doesn't say
It says
fire in
bon.
a fireplace. It says bonfire.
A 5-foot cube on the ground in the middle of this thing still doesn't touch any walls or structures. So
Yeah, but the heat. Either way, consequences are how I've said them.
it's there. It's not. It's there. It's not.
Yes. Should make you all roll
It's not
dexterity saving
it's not
throws,
like-
but that's fine.
Hey, that's
It's
a
not like we're-
damage cantrip, Jeff. You should use that more often.
Yeah, but it's so the bottleneck's rarely that small.
And
You're
dexterity.
level 11, yeah?
A lot of things have dexterity saving throws. So it is
Damage
3d8 if
isn't
you're level 11.
bad.
But it's a 3d8 cantrip with a dex save that you can cast every turn. That's not nothing.
Oh, it's not nothing.
That's tough.
But
All right, so you're all doing a long rest.
60 feet is also not. Yes, we're long resting as
Okay.
comfortably as we can.
Okay. Bellarmine, are you out just outside in your little tent roll?
Yeah, take the smoke.
Smart. You were down here. I know
who's
who
on
was
watch?
who was on watch. Where did
Hold
Canada
on a
go?
second. I'm in the house. In the hut.
Got it. Okay. Tokens are on top of each other. All right.
As long as everybody's within 30 feet of my spear, we should be okay.
Oh, I forget
who's
to do
on
that
watch?
sometimes.
It will warn of any approach.
Oh yeah, no, everybody would be. Okay, so as you all lay down, you're sort of reminded of the fact that it is eerily quiet in this space, outside of like the smell and of some burning ash and a bit of a few embers that are crackling. Well, not crackling. They're done. But no, it is like eerily, like it's almost unsettling how quiet and like just devoid of life this is.
Can I interrupt just for a moment?
Go on.
In the 30 minutes I was sitting down waiting for prayers of healing, can I have reconstructed affect engines?
Sure.
Great.
Allowed. I'll allow it. But yeah, so like it takes a little longer for you to fall asleep just because like you can almost hear yourself breathing every single time someone like shifts. You can hear it far more clearly than you normally would be able to. So it's a little unsettling, but over time, you do eventually fall asleep who stays watch? Nothing occurs.
It really does sound very unpleasant to be falling asleep in a completely silent place.
Yeah. It yeah, I mean, it's not like I mean, the sounds you make do travel. It's not like you're inside of a soundproof booth, because as I understand,
yeah.
it actually drives
I
you
need my
crazy.
white noise
But
machine.
yeah, I also need my white noise machine, so that's why it's like it's just weird, and just like you can't help but like think, and you expect any noise at all outside, but it's just nothing. There's no wind, no creatures, no critters, no like grasshoppers, no crickets, just nothing. Kind of makes you wonder where the spider webs came from. But you all long rest successfully.
He said successful. Press the button.
Press the long rest button. Click.
Did we sleep? Is it dawn? What's time?
You don't really have a sense of. I mean, it's. So I'll say it was sort of. I think you guys left like midday, so like by like it would have been evening. I mean, all you can sort of sense is that like the din gets brighter and darker. So like the din did get darker as you were going to sleep, and the din does seem to be getting brighter.
So, does my light crossbow seem to give me the sense that I can affect fate twice today anew?
It does. It does indeed.
Okay.
Yes, you can all re-roll your I can't remember the name of the thing. But yeah, you can all roll your 20s and hold them on for interfering of the people's attack rolls.
And what level?
Portent.
Thank you.
You said D20?
That's if you have portent.
If that's for all the folks that have portent as a enchantment on their weapons. I don't believe you do. An 8, a 16, a 2, and a 9.
Babbage,
A whole lot of.
you
rolled
happen to have anything that I can throw? Any throwing ammunition, perhaps? Something
Oh, I
can
can.
do some damage.
I could whip up some darts for you.
I mean, he literally can just break off a branch from a tree and just.
Yeah, some weighted darts, something that'll make it a
Well,
little
I've got plenty of materials for some weighted darts.
fancy dancy.
Let me just remember what we called them in terms of gold value and craft you an appropriate number of them.
Would perhaps like a throwing dagger be more effective, or
the weighted darts
that would be
were
up to the
pretty good.
That's pretty solid. They were certainly pretty solid. Just
I just don't remember what we
1d4
called...
plus 5 piercing. Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, the I'm just trying to get the definition of how I craft them. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Which I wrote down somewhere. So.
That's 1d4 plus 5 plus 2 or plus 1d2 bludgeoning. Yeah, that's ain't bad at all.
I mean, you could just say like a silver piece. Which I know is basically nothing for you.
A silver piece? Yeah, that's literally. I could craft 100 of them. I could craft 500 of them in a minute.
I'm trying to visualize that. I mean, 500
Wait,
a
that's
minute.
not even accurate. My construction is 100 gold per hour. That's 10,000 weighted darts in an hour.
All right, I'm gonna say just for the sake of gameplay balance, it's gonna be a gold piece per, just to make it so you don't have literally like. I mean, I guess you can only throw so many at a time, but it's like in the span of one turn of combat, Babbage like somehow magically makes like 100 darts. Babbage is the belt-feeded ammunition to some gun.
I'll hand you
almost
20.
3 darts a second.
Yeah, I'll hand you 20 weighted darts.
There you go.
I will take it. Thank you.
I want to see a bandolier of these weighted darts. That would be really cool.
Yeah, right.
Well,
you've got to wear it so it looks like Chewbacca.
We have the time. I could craft a leather bandolier that you could wear.
go.
Perhaps the bonus of the bandolier means that it's easier to access them, and you can throw them as a bonus action.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm not breaking
Ooh.
the action economy like that. Nice try.
Ooh.
It was a good try.
Or as a reaction.
Also breaking.
Well, how about this?
Action economy.
So monks have the ability to catch a missile that's fired at them.
True.
What if
As
because
a
of the
reaction, yeah.
What if because of the bandolier, if he uses that reaction feature, he can choose to use the weighted dart as his counter attack?
I mean, it's if you know what,
It's
because it's his reaction if that's how he wants to use it.
It's a May condition.
Sure.
It might be a better piece of ammunition. It might not. It's all dependent on the situation, but it gives him an option.
Yeah, no, fair. I'll allow it.
So
Yes,
instead,
I love making things happen.
So instead of catching, like I catch it, and if I can successfully throw it back, I can choose to throw a weighted dart instead.
You can choose to use the weighted dart as the thrown ammunition instead of the
whatever
thing you caught.
the arrow or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, let me add this in
Sounds
here.
good. Write that into your
Awesome.
character sheet.
I love synergy.
Update. Can use weighted dart instead.
Well, that also
of-
burns a key point, as I recall.
It does.
Yeah, I mean
it's,
the skill still does what the skill does.
I didn't mean to do that.
All good.
But I do want to do something before we go into battle here, and that's called bless.
You're a little early on that, but good to know that you want to do that before we start.
Yes.
Well, we've already rested, right?
You have.
But bless is a thing you do like at the start of a combat, not before we even walk somewhere.
Yeah, because it only lasts, I think, a minute.
Yeah.
Bless is a very good thing to have running.
Great thing to have running. Hold off on.
Yes.
The bonus it gives to our saving throws is amazing.
Quite clutch. Makes me want to make a peace domain druid, but that's for another day.
Oh, sorry, I was reading a spell, and that happened. I did not cast it, though.
Oh, that's a way better way to use this. I'm just going to create a resource called a sword grab rather than trying to manage it in my inventory. That's so much better than trying to keep track of it as an inventory item.
Yay, solving problems.
Cool. Alright, so we got all our spell slots, we got all our health, we get half of our total hit dice back if we had used any. We leveled up. What?
Ha! No.
Just kidding. Got my affect engines. We're ready to roll, I think.
Points, full of darts, full of weighted darts. New life ward, new eldritch maul.
So, as we awake from this long rest, I explained to the group.
When we get to the very last letter of Senwesen, and we go north the final time before the encounter, Yu wishes to commune with nature and to get an accurate reading on what's there.
Valid.
Three facts of your choice about any of the following subjects. Okay. All right. So you're gonna do this right before you guys head off? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so when we get to the final turn on the path, which final letter is N for north,
Yep.
therefore the next tile, I'll cast it. I will ritually cast it then and there, assuming that there isn't some weird magical proximity anomaly.
Hmm.
Why would you even put that in his head?
Don't worry, I was already thinking it.
What was the ruling that we came up with? Or the reason that I have access to spells but don't have spell slots?
Some magical item.
No, so like I have 3 level 1 spells, but I have no spell slots. And 0 total slots.
Because you took Arcane Trickster Rogue, but you
Mhm.
aren't high enough level to have the spell slots you thought you had.
Yeah, you have to be. I
I have
think you
no
have to be
level
like
1
you have to be
slots.
like a level 3 Arcane Trickster Rogue, I think, to get the actual spells slots.
Yeah, because it let me choose them. That's why. Okay.
That is, it should have really.
Because yeah, how many levels in Rogue do you have?
2, I believe. Let me just double check.
Because it shouldn't even prompt you for your like Rogue type
No.
or domain until you have that many levels of Rogue.
Yeah, it's not
Unless it
until
just broke. Unless dual classes broke because it saw your total level was a certain amount.
I have level 3 rogue. I'm a level 3 rogue, 8
Oh.
monk.
Oh,
Or,
then
yeah,
then you
Then you
should
do
have
have-
2 first level spells.
I am. 8 monk, 3 rogue is what I am.
Yeah, so you should. That's why you should have 2.
2 slots at level.
You should have
1.
2 first level spots, spell spots. Yep.
Okay. So what that? Oh damn it! No, I don't want to do that. Hang on, it keeps opening Character Mancer for some reason.
I mean, I can fix your spell slots easily enough.
Oh, got it. Okay, good. No, why is it stop? Okay, I gotta go cancel. Stop this.
Ah,
Discarded exit. There we go.
okay.
How do I change that?
Change what?
Spell slot. Let's see if there's a 0.
Hold on.
There we go. Spell slot modifiers. 1, 2.
Yeah, you can manually adjust that. I have to adjust some of mine because I'm only a half caster and I'm a homebrew class.
Yep.
There you go. 1d4
Yep, so
plus dex piercing. Roger. 1d4 plus dex, correct.
Plus 1d2 plus.
Yep, correct. Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So for the sake of argument, Jeff, what are these 3 things that you're choosing as part of this commune with nature spell?
Reading.
You, when you do your
Right, no, I see it.
when you do your thing, I have something to do as well. Right before we enter the next field.
Right. So terrain embodies water. Based on inspecting the dead mage, what category would I say those things were? Were they monsters? Were they fae? Were they?
Lysolot's are probably either humanoid or monstrosity.
Roll a nature check for me. DC 10.
With guidance.
DC 10 minus D4. So yeah, you are 100% confident they are humanoid.
Spell doesn't say humanoid, so I'm trying to figure out how I can ping them through that spell. Like, are they peoples if they're humanoids?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll do that. Oh, I can choose 3 of them, right?
Yes.
The 3 peoples. Animals. And Faye.
Jim,
Yes.
is there anything going on September 22nd? I'm supposed to be preaching that day, and then the senior chorus asked me to record them.
That's probably a good candidate for Robert's birthday.
Well, it's going to be very difficult, even without the senior chorus, for me to
Given
get
that it's
there.
his actual birthday.
It's going to be very difficult for me to get there, given the fact that I'm that's my preaching weekend.
Okay, that's probably not the right forum for this discussion, but we can talk about
Well,
it.
I just got the request, so I'm trying to answer them.
Okay, well, I don't have a definitive answer for you.
All right. Well, if you knew when that was going to happen, that would have been easy, but you don't.
It'll probably be that weekend because following 3 weekends, I'm going to be in Massachusetts.
You said September 22nd. I'm going to go ahead and just pop that in here.
I don't know exactly if it'll be the 21st or the 22nd, but it'll be sometime that weekend.
No. I'm
That's
going to be
actually
away.
perfect.
I'm going to be away till the 13th. So I come back, and then my preaching weekend is the 21st and 22nd. Just know that.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right.
All right, you said humanoids, fae, and what was the other one? Animals. You get the sense of about 30 humanoids. No animals, which again is just unsettling. And 0 fae.
So I stand by my initial prediction of 24 to 2 fortnights.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
So before we go into that, I want to pass something as well.
Go on.
Are we're like right at the next
Well,
door?
I mean, unless you guys have something else you want to do.
Oh, I mean, since you gave me that info, I would assume that we're there. We're about to open the door and kick some butt.
Yeah. So can we see what's ahead there? So no, right? Can it be described to me? From what
I mean, while you
saw?
you still need to wind through the map. I mean, I can,
Mm.
if you guys want to say you're there, I can put you on the board.
Well, can we
'Cause I
get to a
wanna go-
point where we can see what's happening without being seen?
Yeah.
Since we know ahead of time there's something to see.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Then you can roll me a stealth.
Yes, I would like to be as stealthy as
Well, I
possible.
assume we're all there. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna assume you're all at the top of the map at the moment. All right, and if you're trying to,
Yeah, I'm off. I'm off. Something happened to the game for me, so I'm trying to get back on.
all good.
Nice.
All right, so
I'm so sneaky.
Very sneaky.
Oh
okay.
boy. We just
Not
need the
taking-
heavy armor cleric.
We're not taking no
I
chances.
can't find.
Nice.
I can't get back in the game for some reason.
That's all right. We'll
I
work.
see you still connected.
Give me a moment.
I could. I mean, frankly, I'm about to say goodnight because this is a good place to stop and starting a giant fight at.
Yeah, all right, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. Look at that. 30s all around.
Wow.
Well,
All
Jim rolled. Oh no, he rolled for.
Yeah, I rolled from his cheat because he was not connected at the time.
What
Okay.
are we doing?
Healthy here at a 28.
We're all
Okay.
stealthed.
We're
And
all
then that's
quite
probably going to break
sneaky.
us for the night.
All right. Let's
What?
see. Give me a second.
We're all
Um,
stealthed. And
Well,
Mike
I was
is.
gonna cast bless. Where are we? I'm all alone.
Hold here. Let's do this. All right.
Goo!
Okay, can I cast bless now? Finally.
We will. Let's see. Yes, we'll say you're casting bless.
Where the heck is it? There it
I
is.
will just track it on the. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to type. That's fine. All right, we'll have that in record. All right, so as you, the four of you are successfully, we'll say, hidden behind a set of trees just as the path bends, and you guys can see what lies before you. We know that there is a bless sitting on top of the group,
Oh.
and with
Oh,
that cliffhanger, we will say goodnight to the internet.
Oh boy.
Uh,